Correct movement and awareness are essential elements when trying to maintain stealth and remain undetected, especially if you like the challenge of not using the HUD or drone. A slow and methodical approach combined with speed and aggression will ensure that you are able to infiltrate an area, complete your objective, and then get out again in the true style of a ghost. Movement can be seen as the simplest of tasks, but without awareness, your chances of being spotted increase considerably. First of all, and what I would highly recommend if you haven't already, is to build up your quiet running and detection perks, as doing this will greatly benefit you in being stealthy. So when it comes to movement within the mission area, what I find works best for me anyway is moving in bursts, if there's plenty of cover. I run to cover, crouch, rinse and repeat, with the addition of checking my surroundings. Now obviously you can run anywhere in which you know there are no enemies in close proximity, but if you're going in blind without the HUD or drone and you're not 100% on enemy placement, then the burst method is the way to go, as it reduces your chances of being heard, seen and or of making mistakes. It just gives you that bit more control. Once you get into the habit, you'll find yourself doing it all the time automatically. All of the movement depends on the situation that you're in, moving slowly past guards that are close by for example. Awareness in short, and in this instance, is the direct or perceived knowledge of your surroundings, and this is something you'll need in order to remain ghost-like. Check your corners is probably something you've heard in other games or in movies, and it's a top tip for stealth. It takes only a second and could prove to be the difference between being spotted or not. So once you approach a corner, just stop and check. Now you're not just looking for an enemy close by, but also scanning for other threats. Bear in mind though, that if you have chosen to use no weapons, you won't be able to hug any cover. Remember also, for situations like this, and you don't know where the enemies are, then it's simply a matter of quickly checking in other directions before advancing. And also ensure that when you're using a weapon to check corners, that you change the over the shoulder view to maximise your view at different angles. Not only does this apply when checking corners, but just in general. Patience is key when waiting for an enemy to move, and it can be frustrating at times, but try not to let it force you into making a mistake. Ensure though that if you are hugging a corner, waiting for a guard to move, remember to check your 6 in case an enemy creeps up onto your position. Even when on the move, you can check your surroundings by panning the camera and side walking, or panning the camera and walking backwards. So for example, this is the way in which I am travelling, but have these openings to check. So as I advance forward, I pan my camera to check for enemies. The same thing can even be applied when moving at speed. So for example, I'm moving in this direction but looking this way, and as I advance I spot these 2 enemies, which then increases my awareness of enemy positions. All you have to remember is not to just look in the direction you are travelling, as this is what may get you caught out. And the more familiar you become with doing this, then the quicker you'll become. Passing doorways is the same. Just have a quick look to see if there's an enemy present. If there is, then you'll know 1, that you'll have to watch your 6 if you don't want to risk taking them down, or 2, you will at least know the position of another enemy. Entering or exiting buildings is just a matter of the same principles. You can either hug the wall and check, or simply pan the camera. Your view can be restricted, but it will still give you a good indication of if the coast is clear. Stairs can be tackled by just stopping near the top and panning the camera to check if it's clear, so nice and easy. A few other things that will help with awareness can be listening out for enemies, as some of them can be very vocal, looking through windows, looking through gaps, and even looking out for shadows. With all these tips in mind, it's completely up to you how you tackle a mission, whether you use weapons or no weapons, and whether you choose to take down as many enemies as possible or leave as many enemies as possible. My aim with these tips is just to help some of you guys out, and if you just take one tip away, then job done. In part 4, we will be covering dealing with and knowing the enemy, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Any thoughts, drop a comment below, drop a like if you're feeling nice, and I'll catch you next time.